The emergency beacon had been transmitting for 72 hours when Captain Marcus Chen's salvage vessel, the Peregrine, picked it up in the asteroid belt of Kepler 442. The signal originated from a Zerathian royal cruiser, unmistakable by its quantum signature, listing dead in space with its hull breached in 3 locations. "This is a bad idea," said Dr. Amara Okafor, the ship's xenobiologist, as they approached in their EVA suits. "The Zerathian Empire doesn't leave survivors behind. If she's still here, there's a reason." Marcus checked his suit's radiation levels. "A distress beacon is a distress beacon. Maritime law applies even out here." The cruiser's interior was a graveyard. Crystalline support structures had shattered, and the bioluminescent walls had dimmed to near darkness. They found her in what remained of the command chamber, Queen Shara of the 7th Fleet, her chitinous exoskeleton cracked and leaking the silvery hemolymph that served as Zerathian blood. She was magnificent even in ruin. Nearly 3 meters tall, her segmented body gleamed like polished obsidian beneath the damage. 4 arms hung limply at her sides, and her compound eyes, normally radiant with refracted light, had dulled to the color of smoke. "You mustn't touch me, human," she whispered in perfect English, her mandibles clicking with the effort. The words came through both vocalization and the translator implanted in her thorax. Marcus stopped mid-reach. "You're dying. Let me help. My body chemistry is lethal to mammals, even through your suit." She shifted slightly, and a fresh stream of silver blood pooled beneath her. "The proteins in my hemolymph trigger catastrophic immune responses. Your tissues would liquefy within hours." Amara's voice crackled through the comm. "She's right, Marcus. Zerathian biology is incompatible with ours at a molecular level. It's why our species have never exchanged so much as a handshake in 200 years of diplomacy." The Queen's breathing, a whistling sound through her spiracles, grew more labored. "I was betrayed by my own court. They believed I would sign the human trade agreements, that I had grown too sympathetic to your kind." Marcus knelt just outside the expanding pool of silver. "The Mineral Rights Treaty? That's what this was about? My people see yours as scavengers, resource thieves picking through the galaxy's bones." Her largest eye cluster focused on him. "They're not entirely wrong. But I saw something else. I saw a species that survived against impossible odds, that looked at the stars with the same hunger we once had." "Your fleet will come looking for you," Amara said. "No. The sabotage will be blamed on human pirates. It's already been arranged." She coughed, a wet, rattling sound. "My death legitimizes the war faction. They'll have their conflict and the trade routes will remain closed." Marcus studied the chamber, his engineer's mind working through the problem. The Queen's life support system was damaged beyond repair, but not entirely offline. Coolant still circulated through the walls, and backup power maintained minimal gravity. "What if you didn't die?" he asked. Shara's mandibles twitched, the Zerathian equivalent of a bitter laugh. "I have perhaps an hour before systemic failure. Your medical technology cannot help me, and you cannot transport me without killing yourselves. But we can record you." Marcus activated his suit's holocam. "A testimony, the truth about what happened here. They'll claim it's fabricated. Maybe. But it's something." He adjusted the camera angle. "Your people respect strength, right? Dying with your truth told, that's strength." For a long moment, the Queen was silent. Then she began to speak. She detailed the conspiracy with clinical precision. Names, dates, communication logs still stored in her neural implants. She explained how the war faction had grown powerful by stoking fear of human expansion, how they'd orchestrated border incidents, how they'd finally decided she was too dangerous to their cause to leave alive. "I wanted to believe our species could coexist," she said, her voice fading. That we could move past the biological barriers and find common ground in our shared curiosity about the universe. Marcus felt a weight in his chest. Here was a being whose mere touch could kill him, yet who had risked everything for the possibility of peace. "We got it all," Amara confirmed. "Encrypted and backed up to 3 separate systems." Shara's eyes brightened slightly. Satisfaction, perhaps. "Then my death may yet serve the cause I lived for." She paused, struggling. "There's a data core in my neural casing. It contains proof of everything I've said. Take it when I'm gone. But quickly, it will degrade within minutes of my death." "I understand." The Queen's breathing slowed, each cycle taking longer than the last. "It's strange," she whispered, "to die among aliens. To find more honor here than in my own court." "You're not dying among aliens," Marcus said quietly. "You're dying among friends. That counts for something." Her compound eyes flickered one final time. "Yes," she breathed. "I believe it does." When her life signs ceased, Marcus moved with practiced efficiency. The neural casing opened with specialized tools, and he extracted the crystalline data core before its structure could collapse. The information it contained would change everything. As they returned to the Peregrine, Amara spoke. "They'll still try to start their war." "Probably," Marcus agreed. "But now we have a Queen's testimony and proof of the conspiracy. Maybe it won't be enough, but maybe it opens a door." Through the viewport, the stars gleamed cold and distant, indifferent to the dramas of biological life. But somewhere in that vast darkness, Marcus thought, there was still room for hope, even if it came at the cost of a Queen's life, even if all that remained was a human who couldn't touch an alien hand, holding a crystalline core that proved some bonds transcended biology itself.